Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've posted, it's just been quite busy. But when I had a video earlier in the year, very loosely outlining the plans I had for 2025, I said that none of them were set in stone. I plan to cover games like Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and maybe even Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. But nowhere in those plans was the roguelike Risk of Rain 2 mentioned or even considered. Why? Because I had no idea of its existence, and roguelikes aren't the kind of games I'm interested in. Recurring viewers of this channel will know I prefer single-player RPG games, series like the Elder Scrolls Fallout, the Dragon Age trilogy, and some exceptions to the single-player rule like Diablo, which is always fun with a solid party of friends. Recently, I reached out to a few people in the Rated J Discord community, link in the description, with the idea of making content based on multiplayer games. And what better people to do that with than people that subscribe to the channel or are friends of people who subscribe to this channel. I made a few suggestions of games like Borderlands, Diablo, Path of Exile, and that's when our awesome moderator and dear friend Exodus comes in. He had recommended a little game called Risk of Rain 2 as a game that's fun with a group. I had nothing to lose, so I decided to check it out. And little did I know, this was a game that was just going to consume my interest and my thoughts for days on end. Risk of Rain 2 has a simple and elegantly designed gameplay loop. You drop down on this planet, fight monsters, acquire items, level up, activate a teleporter, fight a boss, then move on to the next stage. A basic run of this game follows that pattern 5 times, and then you're teleported to the final level, where you eventually fight a character called Mithrix, the King of Nothing. The best way to sum this game up, as near as I can tell, is land on planet, steal shit, get strong, kill a god, refuse to elaborate, leave. And I absolutely fucking love it. Now, this game has you traveling through a series of portals, and the game can end in all kinds of weird ways. Not just fighting Mithrix. Sometimes you can end fighting the Voidling or the False Sun, which are alternate final bosses added in the Survivors of the Void and Seekers of the Storm expansion, respectively. The latter character can also be unlocked as a playable melee survivor, which Exo and I discovered by accident. The heart of this experience is looting, finding assortments of weird items from teleporter events, chest stores, and the mysterious bazaar. With the right artifacts, even enemies you defeat can drop items as well. The real fun about finding items and getting so powerful is that if the RNG is kind to you with item drops, you can go from like level 1 RPG characters to levels of speed, jump height, and raw hitting power that look more at home in like late game Morrowind than in the game you're actually playing. At least that's how my RPG brain feels about it. As a side note too, I am an avid tabletop gamer, board games, skirmish games, war games, etc. And when the dice are not in your favor, it's like a gut punch. Every roll is trash, your units are dying left and right, you're missing every hit. But when you're having a great game and rolling sixes like it's going out of style, you feel like this insanely powerful and unkillable god. And that's how getting the right items in Risk of Rain 2 feels. Like, I go from an infant to Doom Guy in 30 minutes with the right items. One of my favorite things about the gameplay loop is that to achieve these levels of power in other games I play, namely something like Morrowind, to use the earlier example, or Oblivion, to use another of my all-time favorites, to achieve these levels of power, if I'm not cheesing the game, it's usually like 20-ish hours over the course of a few days, or maybe 30 hours if I'm really taking my time and exploring. But Risk of Rain 2, the experience and leveling system, while very rudimentary, is there, and you become ultra powerful if you're playing right within like 30 minutes. And I realize I'm sounding repetitive here, but something about that looting system and gameplay loop just tickles my brain in the right way. It's almost like compacting an entire run of like Borderlands into an hour. From arriving in Firestone to fighting Cromarax, I'd actually say that's pretty comparable in how powerful you feel if you get the right loot. And Risk of Rain 2 has a whole host of characters for tackling the various levels. in this game and many more with mods. The characters are as follows. The Commando and Huntress are your starting characters, followed by Acrid, Artificer, Bandit, a personal favorite of mine, Captain, Chef, Engineer, Loader, Multi, Mercenary, Rex, Railgunner, Void Fiend, Seeker, False Sun, and Heretic, all of which can be unlocked via various methods. Without going into too much detail, each of these characters has their own strengths and weaknesses when playing, and I've had a lot of fun playing them trying to complete runs. As I always say, I'm not very good at games. When I'm playing multiplayer games, I'm the guy who brings the quality of the team way down. That is the case here as well. But damn if it isn't a fun time getting a couple buddies and seeing how quickly you can complete a run. It is just as fun to do solo as well. Though at the moment of writing this script, I have never been able to complete a solo run, which has changed since the time of recording. I wrote this many months ago. I'm only now having the time to record it as well. Now, I've been able to complete some solo runs now, and Risk of Rain 2 players, it probably sounds pathetic to them that I've only maybe completed like 2 or 3, especially when I see videos of people doing god-level 7-minute runs. I'm just happy if I can hit commencement, which is the final stage, in like 50 minutes. But regardless of the character you're interested in, except maybe Chef, chances are you'll find a way to complete the game quickly and challenge yourself to do better each time. The persistence of learning new characters and getting better with characters I really like has been one of the cornerstones of my enjoyment in this game. For me, it's really been about playing the Bandit. The Bandit, I think, that's my personal favorite character. But if somebody were to tell me that they liked the Huntress, or they preferred Multi, or Rex, or the Mercenary, the Railgunner, I have no way of arguing with that because they all are a lot of fun. While this video is quite a bit shorter than what I usually prefer to make, I just wanted to kind of get this out there because if you're a subscriber or just a random viewer to my channel and you've never played this game before, it's one I highly recommend. Especially if you have a crew of people you like to play games with online. This to me is kind of like a top tier party game and group game, and I hope me talking about it has at least piqued your curiosity enough to give it a shot. When I first saw it, as in when it was first recommended to me by EXO, I was not at all interested. But once I dove into the gameplay loop, embraced it, and got a solid crew of people who enjoyed the game as well, it became a game that has sucked the hours out of many of my nights and brought me tons of joy. It is my great hope that it does the same for you. Another banger for the books. I didn't think it would feel this good to be filming this section of the video that I like to do at the end where I talk to you, the viewer. And it's been quite a while since I've been back, and I apologize. Things got very, very busy, very hectic for me. Not like in a bad way. There was nothing, no great tragedy happened. I just got very busy with work, and in my personal life, it was just, I was so busy that the idea of sitting down in my free time to edit and make videos just was 0% appealing. This much, the zero amount. And I was doing a lot of, I do some work in film and writing and whatnot, and I was doing a lot of that, but I also had the great privilege of doing some tour dates and comedy shows with a good friend of mine, Carl Remy, and opening for him and Bob Rayhart, two comics I really, really admire. And that was just kind of a really crazy, mind-blowing experience. I'll put a clip of that up at the end here. Maybe some pictures here and there. So I got really busy with that. But then the other portion of why I haven't been uploading was also because, well, you. Maybe not you specifically, the viewer, but this community. We have a Discord community, as I said earlier in the video. Link in the description below. And we just have a lot of fun in there. It's a wholesome group. Everyone seems to get along. We all chat about things, and I'm just so grateful for all the people in there. And when I did have rare evenings of free time. Like I said, I wasn't making videos, but I was in there hanging out with them, playing games together, and just chit-chatting, you know. We just talk about things. We talk about games. We talk about we just it's just friends. It's a group of friends. I'm stumbling over my words, but it's very difficult for me to put into words how much I adore hanging out with all of them, even if it's just in a virtual space. But here at the end of this video, I wanted to announce a second channel that I have created. When I first started this channel here, it was Let's Play. I was playing Starfield, and I was doing a series called Gaming with a Friend, because sometimes playing these single-player RPG games I know can be a bit lonely or isolating, so you could throw on one of those videos and consider yourself to be gaming with a friend. That was my tagline. It's been a long time since I said that, but I loved it. I loved doing it, and I started a second channel to kind of do Let's Play content, and that is Rated J Gameplay, which I will also have linked in the description below. And that is just, I just like playing games, and sometimes doing these video essays. I love doing them. I love writing about why I'm enjoying games and sharing that experience with you, but I also just like playing them with my friends. And so the second channel, I want that to be we-centric, not me-centric. And we as in, there's people in our Discord community that expressed wanting to play some of these games with me. I had broached them with the idea first, and they were positively receptive to it. So we have been filming a little bit behind the scenes, one-off episodes to put on that channel, but also something more series-like, more structured. I guess if you want to call it structured. But something a little more series-like. If you scroll down to kind of the earliest days of this channel being a video game channel, you'll find that I was doing a couple episodes every week for Starfield Let's Play. And so we have a couple of one-off episodes for other games filmed, and currently those games that we have one-off episodes to maybe do like a once weekly thing if I don't have something else to upload, is we have stuff for Risk of Rain 2 and Deep Rock Galactic. Which, Deep Rock, holy smokes, that game's a lot of fun. I may do a video for Deep Rock on this channel one day, because I've just had such a freaking good time with that game. But also, we will have a episodic series coming, and that is going to be, first, let me do a little drum roll. Actually, you know what, I'll just put a drum roll sound effect right here. And that game will be Diablo 2. That will be our first episodic series, which will be big and bold and all of that. It'll be fun. But that is still a little while off. So here's what I want to do. Here's how I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna explain it to you right now just so it can be understood if you watch this and you're like, hey, where is it? Why haven't we seen it? So, in the past, when I was doing Let's Play content on this channel, it was a lot of work, because I was playing Starfield. So I'd play Starfield an hour, sometimes 2 hours. Then afterwards, I'd go and, hope you didn't hear that, it's a big truck driving by. A lot of my neighbors have big trucks. So I would film it, I would review the footage, make my cuts, do my little edits, make sure nothing crazy was in there. Sometimes I'd get up, take a quick bathroom break, and come back, but then there would be like a 5 or 10 minute gap of nothing. So I cut that, and I just monitor the whole video, cutting stuff like that out, so it's a fluid gameplay viewing experience for you. So my plan for this, because when I was doing the Starfield stuff, I would do an episode Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then I switched to Monday, Friday, but still it was a lot to get done to have episodes ready for the next week, in addition to working full-time jobs, in addition to doing stand-up. So I want to record these episodes for the Diablo series whenever we can, maybe once or twice a week, and I want to have them all done, uploaded. I'll make them unlisted so they can't be seen, but once they're all done on that second channel, then set them to release maybe once or twice a week. That way there's no like long gaps if you want to see how our adventure's going, right? There's not like a 3-week gap or something between episode 5 and 6, or whatever the case may be. Because we all have lives, we all have jobs. So I just want to make sure once it's all done, then I set it to upload so you have something to watch consistently, and we don't feel like we're under the gun, because it was really sucking a lot of the joy out of gaming for me when I was doing the Let's Play stuff, because I always felt like, I need to be moving, need to have these 2 episodes out this week. And there's nothing, in my opinion, more boring than playing a game and having fun, but then going back and watching yourself do it immediately for like 2 hours and cutting out the boring bits or the slow bits. And I don't want to be under the gun. I don't want my friends to feel like they're under the gun. It's just supposed to be a fun experience where we're just playing Diablo 2 to start. Other games we will be playing, like I said, Deep Rock Galactic, we've got one-offs for. Risk of Rain 2, we've got one-offs for. And we'll also be looking into games like Baldur's Gate 3, doing a campaign for that. The Borderlands series. If anybody wants to play Halo with me, I'd be super down with that. I love Halo. I've been on a Halo kick lately. So that is just kind of what's been up, where I've been, and why I haven't uploaded recently. I know the first video I did this year was kind of in a negative headspace, and that's not the kind of content I prefer to make. It's not the kind of content I want to make. But, I make what I feel, and that's what I was feeling at the time. I don't know if things will be more consistent on this channel moving forward. Probably not. Maybe another month or 2 until I do another video. But that's just where I've been at. It's just life. Life sometimes just gets in the way. I'm sure you understand. But be on the lookout for stuff coming to the second channel. Like I said, I'll have the channel linked in the description below. And the footage for this Risk of Rain 2 run will be the first video uploaded. We had mods installed for that run, and we were all playing the Miner class. The one with the pickaxe, not the one that you get in trouble for talking to. So we had that. We called it the Triple Miner run. Me, Angel, and EXO were doing that, and that was a lot of fun. And also, if you join our Discord community, chances are when there's a big gameplay series that we're doing in the future, where we have multiple people in on it, join the Discord community. You could probably join us and play whatever game we're playing next. We're going to be doing Diablo, Borderlands, Baldur's Gate, all that. I don't know exactly when, but we will be doing more of it. And if you're interested in Risk of Rain 2 after watching this video, hop in there, talk about it, come play it with us. It's a game that I took a long break from, but now that I'm doing this video and going through footage again, I really, really want to play it. So feel free to hop on in there and join us. And if none of that is your jam, I am just so glad that you took time out of your day to be here with me, and I will see you in the next one.
You see that? Do you see that? Do you know what that is? It's a segue to the next topic. I don't trust the news. I don't, and I haven't for a very long time. It's not because the news is blatantly biased about everything. It's not because the news lies to us. I don't care about that. It's the things that are like perfectly normal, perfectly natural and normal things that they blow way out of proportion. How many times have you turned on the news and you'd hear something like, "A family comes home, blood on the floor, blood on the walls, a father left speechless. Learn how one local man is dealing with his daughter's first period tonight at 9. What's the color grading on this news? It's so red. This whole report smells like pennies." Oh, don't. Oh, I had to write the joke. I could practically taste it. It was gross. Thank you.